What if I told you World War Z wasn't really about zombies? It was about us, about how we break when fear spreads faster than any virus. In 2006, author Max Brooks released World War Z, an oral history of the zombie war. At first, people thought, cool, a zombie book. But behind the fake interviews and The Walking Dead was something way scarier. The truth about how humans react when the world collapses. This isn't your typical zombie story. There's no one hero saving the day, no action star jumping from helicopters. Instead, it's told like a documentary from after the war. The zombies are gone, and survivors are remembering what really happened. And trust me, some of those stories sound way too real. It all started with a single boy. He was diving in a flooded village in China when something bit him. He didn't die right away. He came back, hungry, violent, unrecognizable. And then it spread. At first, governments tried to cover it up. They said it was rabies. They said everything's fine. But the truth leaked out faster than they could lie. People panicked. Social media exploded. Flights filled. Borders closed. Sound familiar? Max Brooks wrote this before COVID, before global lockdowns, before fake news became daily life, but somehow he predicted all of it. Once the outbreak hit the big cities, everything fell apart. Governments stopped trusting each other. Nations went silent. One by one, lights went out. Max Brooks described countries collapsing not from the zombies, but from themselves. Leaders made selfish choices. People fought over food, not freedom. And humanity, the thing that makes us, started disappearing. One of the most heartbreaking stories comes from a mother who had to hide her kids in the attic because she couldn't trust her neighbors anymore. Not because they were infected, but because fear had made everyone monsters. And that's the part that hits the hardest. Max Brooks didn't write a zombie apocalypse. He wrote a mirror. Eventually, the world realized we couldn't win by running. Humanity had to fight back. But first, it had to change. That's when we get the story of the Battle of Yonkers, one of the most famous moments in the book. America had the best military in the world. Smart missiles, tanks, drones. They gathered thousands of soldiers near New York to face the undead army. Cameras rolled, the world watched. Everyone thought, this is it, humanity strikes back. But when the zombies came, nothing worked. Bullets didn't stop them. Explosions didn't matter. The soldiers froze, terrified by something they couldn't reason with. And the world watched the most powerful nation on earth lose in real time. That was the moment when humanity realized you can't fight fear with firepower. After that, things slowly began to change. Nations stopped arguing. People started listening. Instead of running, they started rebuilding, one block at a time. Max Brooks shows how humans finally learned to survive, not by being strong, but by being smart. The Redeker Plan from South Africa was one of the darkest, but smartest survival plans in the book. The idea? You can't save everyone. So you focus your resources on saving enough people to rebuild the future. It's brutal. It's cruel, but it's real because that's how humanity thinks in survival mode. And that's what makes this story so haunting. We're not scared of zombies. We're scared of what we do when we're the ones cornered. Max Brooks once said, "Zombies don't scare me, people do." He wasn't writing about fantasy. He was warning us about real things: misinformation, denial, fear, pride. In the book, every country reacts differently. The US pretends everything's fine. China hides the truth. Israel seals itself off behind walls. Cuba becomes powerful by staying isolated. And India sacrifices millions just to hold their borders. Each decision feels extreme, until you realize it's exactly what we do when we panic. But not every story ends in darkness. Some survivors in World War Z show what's best in humanity. Ordinary people, Teachers, doctors, farmers, rising up when leaders failed. Because in the end, survival didn't belong to the strongest. It belonged to the kindest. Here's the crazy part. World War Z isn't just a warning. It's a test. Every reader walks away asking, how would I act if the world fell apart? Would I share food or hide it? Would I help a stranger or shut my door? Would I fight for others or only for myself? That's the debate Max Brooks wanted us to have. Because maybe the real zombies aren't the dead. Maybe they're the people who stop feeling, who move through life without empathy, who follow the crowd blindly, never thinking, never caring. When you think about it that way, the apocalypse has already started, hasn't it? At its heart, World War Z isn't about the end of the world. It's about how humans can come back from anything, even from the worst mistakes, even from fear, even from ourselves. Because no matter how bad things get, there's always someone planting a seed, someone teaching a child, someone believing we can rebuild. That's the part people forget. World War Z ends in hope. Max Brooks gave us a warning wrapped in a horror story, a mirror wrapped in monsters. And maybe that's why it still feels so real today. Because when you take away the zombies, you're left with one terrifying question. If the world fell apart tomorrow, would we still be human? If this story made you think, don't forget to share it, because sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that already came true.